Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about something called force and pressure. Can you guess what it is? In this video, we'll explore what is force. We'll learn how to describe what force can do to objects. We'll look at the types of forces and then pressure. So, what is force? A force is a push or pull in a particular direction. It results from an object's interaction with another object. Let's see what this means. Have you ever pulled something? Pulling is the force you exert to move something closer to you. When you pull a block, it moves toward you. Now, the opposite of pulling is pushing. Pushing is the force you exert to move something away from you. When you push a block, it moves away from you. Now that we know what is pulling and pushing, let's see what it means when we say forces happen because of interaction. Let's say you want to kick a soccer ball. You need to actually touch the ball to kick it, right? Exactly. That's because force comes from things interacting or touching each other. Now that we know what force means, let's dive deeper and explore forces. Did you know the strength of a push or pull is called magnitude of force? And guess what? You can have more than one force acting on something at the same time. They can either be in the same direction or opposite directions. Cool, isn't it? So, what if we apply force in the same direction? When more than one force is applied in the same direction, the total force is the addition of magnitude of both the forces. Imagine you and your friend both pushing a box forward. Both of you are applying force in the same direction. So, what happens? The forces add up, making the box move easier. And what if we apply force in the opposite direction? When two forces are applied over an object from opposite directions, the total effective force is the difference between the two forces. Think about a tug-of-war game again. You're pulling on one side, and your friend is pulling from the opposite side. What's happening here? The force is the difference between your pull and your friend's pull. This decides which direction the rope moves. So, what can force actually do? A lot. It can make objects move, like when a hockey player hits a puck. It can stop a moving object, like a baseball player uses a force to catch the ball and stop it from moving. Force can even change the direction of something moving, like a volleyball player uses a force to move the ball in a different direction. And not just that, it can change the shape of things, like a baker uses a force to change the shape and consistency of his mixture. Now, what are the two main categories of forces? There are two main categories of forces: contact forces and non-contact forces. Contact forces result from two objects touching each other, like dribbling a basketball or kicking a soccer ball or hitting a shuttlecock. Then, we have non-contact forces. Non-contact forces act on an object without coming into contact with another object. So, it can happen without touching, like gravitational force, magnetic force, and electrostatic force. We will look at these in detail later. First, let's look at the types of contact forces. In contact forces, we have muscular force, which comes from our muscles, like lifting a box. And then there's frictional force, which happens when things rub against each other, like sliding a book across a table. And in non-contact forces, we have gravitational force. Gravitational force is the force by which an object attracts another object towards itself. The Earth pulls objects towards itself due to its gravitational force. Electrostatic force happens between charged particles, making them attract or repel. And magnetic force is a force that attracts or repels magnetic objects. It is the push or pull exerted by a magnet. Now, let's talk about pressure. It's the force per unit area. The formula for pressure is P equals F upon A, where F is force and A is area of the object. Pressure has a property. Force acting on a smaller area applies more pressure than the same force acting on a larger area. Imagine when you wear boots on snow. You don't sink in because the force of your weight spreads out over a wide area. But what if you stand on a sharp nail? Ouch! That's because the same force is on a much smaller area, creating a lot of pressure. Have you ever wondered why things float? That's because of buoyancy or upthrust. It's the upward force exerted by a fluid on an object is known as upthrust or buoyant force. Gases like air also create pressure. Inside a balloon, air pushes out in all directions equally. That's why balloons are round and firm. Lastly, we have atmospheric pressure. Our atmosphere extends to several kilometers above sea level. The weight of the air acts as pressure known as atmospheric pressure. And that's the end of our adventure with force and pressure. Amazing, right? How force can push, pull, and even make things float. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for Class 8. Thank you.